Hello and welcome to Respect the Crit. I'm your host and GM, Ian Duncan, and...
Shit. Sorry.
and the dogs are out. Let's slip the dogs of war. To help me fend them off is Jamie Lee-Bonés.
Hello, I'm Jamie, and I play Elo, the modified medical droid.
And also here with weapon in hand, Alex Herrera.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I play Beegax, the dog slicer who doesn't have a sword.
He's got his mind.
And 4 hands.
And 4 hands, yeah. There's a lot to get into. You guys are in the lion's den, so let's find out what's going to happen. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Episode 16, Shattered. Hunted by the Empire outside the walled city of Sajali Sa'i on the planet Socorro. The Renegade slicer, Beegax Botano, and the modified medical droid, Elo, attempted a high-speed escape from Imperial troopers, targeting Beegax's specialized slicing computer. With Elo's glitches getting worse and their contacts unable to help them, the fearless fringers took a risky gambit and engaged their attackers head-on. With the assist of some mysterious yet timely strangers, the fringers brought down the stormtrooper shuttle. But just when they thought they'd escaped danger, Beegax and Elo were abducted by the unknown vigilantes and taken without explanation to a location unknown.
Darkness. You hear the tinny, muffled inner sounds of the truck you are in rumbling over sands. You feel the vibration of the vehicle, feel the crampedness of the space as you bump and jostle endlessly against the bodies of the ones who abducted you. You smell the ashy dust and odor of species piled together in this truck. And for those of you that breathe, you feel the heat of your breath against the heavy, itchy fabric of a bag over your head, blinding you from knowing the faces you can feel staring into you. When finally the vehicle stops, the back is open and you are led somewhere inside and down stairs. The hoods are taken off of you, and you find yourself in some basement almost. It looks like the lighting is very dim here. There looks like a lot of many of these like aliens and beings are like sitting around in their like pieced together armor, and you are led past them, they all giving you like hard, stern looks as you are led into a panel of small cells. This Upawan like hits a control panel there, and the doors like slide up, and they're like the cells are those, it's like not a full metal door, it's like sort of like cut out patterns a little bit in it. It sort of like almost looks organic, but it's metal, so you can like reach your arm through. Elo, you are shoved through and put into this cell, and the door closes down. But Beegax, you are sat down at a table, and your deck is laid out in front of you.
Oh no, I think I know who these guys are, and it's not gonna end well if this is who I think they are.
The Upawan says, "You were on Malastair, correct?"
I need a lawyer first.
Why did you come to Socorro? Who are you meeting here?
Nobody really. I'm just here for the sights, you know, the suns, desert sands, the lovely blues and cold air.
He like nods over to someone behind you, and someone steps up and just cracks Beegax across the back of the head. And I need you to take a strain.
Oh no, I don't have that much. Oh, we're back to full, but I'm full of less.
Who are you here to meet?
He's like, I would say the strain. He's got a little bit of blood coming out of his mouth. I'm here to help a friend. Not here to meet anyone in particular.
Who's your friend?
The medical droid in the cell you got locked up.
And he looks over at Elo.
What is the business you have with this medical droid?
I owe them a big favor. They saved my skin on Bothui, and I'm paying them back by helping them with a task. Looking for somebody special to them. Once we do that, I can go and retire somewhere far away from here.
You think you're going to retire?
I mean, given current circumstances, it might be an early retirement.
What other rebel cells do you know about?
He's gonna look at the Upawan, and his face from normally going from confident cockiness to just shock.
I don't know of that many. One or two.
On Malastair?
Oh, well, I mean, none. I don't really.
He's gonna sigh.
Let me guess. You were the ones planning to blow that place up.
I'm asking the questions here.
No, I'm not. Look, Mr. Interrogator, I'm not trying to take away anything from you. I'm just saying we can cut to the chase.
He looks around the room.
Yeah, and around the room, there isn't much. Think, the cell that everyone ends up in on Jeddah in Rogue One? It's
Yeah.
just a couple of aliens playing cards or something at a table. That's basically, it is sparse, it is empty, it is dusty and dark. And somewhere underground, this Upawan looks at Elo again and says,
So, you're with this one here.
That is correct.
Did you know that Beegax here is part of the Empire?
I find that hard to believe, being that we just took down an Empire ship.
You see this here?
and he points to the deck.
This is Imperial equipment he made off with after he betrayed his own people.
I was good at what I did, and people were willing to pay me money for it. As far as my allegiance goes, I don't really associate with many other Dougs, especially the ones on Malastair. I don't really care about them that much.
He doesn't care.
He looks at Elo as he says this and moves around the table to sort of like clock that Elo heard this response. And then he turns his attention back to Beegax.
Do you know how many, Doug, you killed? Do you know how many of our group you killed?
I mean, he would, because he remembers the number, the tapes that he got, like the transmission intercepted, so he would just like kind of look up. Not smiling, he would just be very serious.
I know the exact number, yeah. Yeah, I know the ones who were in the message. In the messages, I should say. Like I said, I was good at what I did.
How were you able to crack the encryption on the communications?
I mean, it's a couple different ways, really. Usually, people use one cipher or two max, so you just gotta have one that, a style that can adapt to those, and probably even have your own. Judging from most Dougs who are of limited intelligence, wasn't that hard to do. And then you guys,
And he points to the room.
you're all rebels, and I know that there's not really a centralized code system, so I just had to figure out the mainly used ones. By the way,
He looks to somebody in the back of the room.
you should probably think about maybe, using different ones for different regions. Don't have Dougs type things in Doug dialect.
And he gives a wink.
He slams his hand on the table in front of you, like on the deck in front of you.
We're not rebels. We saw Herrera as partisans. And we were on Malastair, trying to help the people fight back, to rise up against the Empire.
And he looks over at Elo.
Is this the one you've decided to side with? Do you know what side he's on?
Elo, through these bars, is gonna look over to Beegax, and then back at this Upawan. I think I have a bit more clarity on the situation of sides than you seem to do.
No, I don't think you do. The Empire, they came to my world. They took it all over. They scattered us to the stars. And on Malastare, they're doing the same.
And when those on Malastare decided they'd had enough, decided they were going to do something about it and push back,
This coward, he chose to side with the Empire, to crush his own people, to kill them, to murder them. And when he had to answer for that, he ran away. Isn't that right, Beegax Botano?
I mean, yeah, you got it. You pretty much got it.
He'll just nod and look up at the Upawan.
Yeah.
You're on no one's side but your own, Beegax. And you don't stand for anything. You make me sick. Is that the side you stand on, droid?
Elo is going to contemplate and then say, Yes, it seems as though he did make those decisions. He did do those things. However, I truly believe that the Beegax in front of you today would not do that. He was a part of the Empire. Why did he leave?
Why don't you tell them?
Well, officially, I was retired. Unofficially, it's because I swiped countless data files on all of the Empire's projects, only some of them. Did it myself, no help, just me. Found my way to Balui and found my way in great company.
And he looks to Elo,
Now I find myself in less than great company.
and he's looking at the Upawan when he says this.
You forgot of all the blood you spilled. Now it's all over your hands. What's on this deck, Beegax?
Well, it's got a lot of interesting projects on there. A lot of things I don't really understand, but whatever it is, the Empire wants it. And they're willing to kill me and anybody else who comes into contact with it. So, if you do work for Sol Herrera, you've just put an even bigger target on your back.
The partisans always have a target on our back. We do it to free the galaxy. What do you do this for?
I do it so I can get the hell away from people like you and people like the Empire. I'm tired of dealing with all you radicals. Imperial, rebels, whatever the criff you are. I'm done with it. And by the way, saving the galaxy, you're doing a heck of a job.
And he gives him a thumbs up.
We're doing what needs to be done.
and he leans in close to Beegax, and you can see the teeth, his sharp pointy teeth, and his eyes glowing yellow, like this bright yellow.
You're gonna give us what's on this deck. You're gonna give us everything. I don't care how you do it, but you will.
And then he nods to his associate, and someone grabs Beegax roughly, hits the cell, and throws you in. The door slides shut. He says,
Be ready. Tomorrow, it's the slice of your life.
and then they leave the vicinity of this cell, leaving Beegax and Elo alone together for a moment. Though not really alone. There are still people around. They are preoccupied with the things that they do here in these cramped quarters.
Elo is going to sort of walk over to... Are we in side-by-side cells or in the same cell?
I think you're in the same cell.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Ella's going to walk over to the door of this cell, put their arms sort of through it as if they're leaning, but is really going to examine this door and just say, well, Criff. And I guess then turn around and look at Beegax putting their arms down at their side sort of expectantly as a mother would to their child bringing home a bad report card. And is just going to stand there and wait.
Beegax won't look at Elo in the face. He just keeps staring. It's like he's got the 100-yard stare through the door of the cell.
Well, I know you want something, but I don't know what it is.
He's gonna look up.
Putting their hand up to their temple as only a gesture. You are going to owe me so many favors. What now?
Well, I'm not gonna give them what they want.
He's gonna say it loud so that they can hear it.
Because if I do that, then everything tips to one side and kind of defeats the purpose of having the data I have.
And what is the purpose?
Well, like I said, take the stuff and run. Threaten to give it away if they don't leave me alone. But that's not the problem.
And he looks to the door, then he looks back to Elo, and he tries to whisper as much as I can in his voice.
It's, there was somebody else helping me get the data. I didn't work on my own. And if I give them the files, they'll see that there was a second slicer on the job. I can't have them find him. I can't have anyone find him.
Oh my god. Are Beegax and Chai like lovers though?
No, it's his buddy. It's like
I know, but I'm just saying I'm picking up a vibe, and I'm totally here for it.
I'm here for it.
Beegax hasn't cared for anyone. He's never cared for anyone other than Chai.
Exactly. It's perfect.
That is
It
so beautiful.
It wouldn't be a very positive relationship because Chai is basically like, what do you want? Yeah, I'll do it. Okay.
yeah, totally, yeah.
And Beegax is like, hey, fucking wash my car.
Of course, Beegax. You want wax? So you want me to detail it, or what? How do you?
Okay.
It'd be a very destructive relationship, that's for sure.
But it would be adorable. Like, I'm picturing it in my head, and it sounds very cute. Elo's going to look out of these bars again and just say, well, then what are our options?
Well, they took all our guns, so can't shoot our way out of here.
Not all of our guns. Whispered.
He looks up. He looks at Elo's, like, their body, and they have no pack, they have nothing. He's like,
what the criff are you talking about?
And Elo is going to make a poor attempt at being subtle, and they're going to sort of like grab their finger and put it under their nose, and they're like pointing down at their arm, like, achoo, achoo.
Beegax puts that,
No. You don't need to do that. You don't. I get it.
and he kind of tilts his head, looks at under the armpit space, and he sees, because he's repaired them before, so he knows what certain parts are, and there's that spot, and he knows, like, hey, I didn't work on that. It looks different. It's like a different shade of metal than the rest, or a different shade of steel than the rest of their body.
Okay. So we're not totally dead yet. What are you thinking?
And then going over and shaking the door this time. Well, this door is no good. And then looking around this cell. Is there any... perhaps...
What is this? Who is this Jamie?
Is there, like, you know...
I want to see this Jamie come out more often. Who is...
I've been stuck in the house for a long time, you guys. This is literally my only escape. I'm just playing online role-playing games with you guys. So
Same.
I don't know. I just think to myself, like, spoon dugout tunnels is a thing. Or, I don't know, Prison Break. I don't know what they did in that TV show, but they obviously broke out.
Got out of something.
Right. So can I perceive just, like, what's in this thing, this cell?
Sure. Yeah. I won't make you roll for it. I mean, if you're just, like, trying to look at stuff in the cell, like, I'm guessing in and around the cell. Is that...
Yeah.
Is that what you're...
Like,
okay.
is there, basically what's included in our amenities?
Well, the amenities include a gated barred door, a floor that is filthy, 3 rough walls, and as for the spa or the room service or anything like that, those are left wanting in your experience with this with this accommodation.
So this is like a $6,000 apartment in San Francisco.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is a
Heat and hot water not included.
Yeah, this is a 1-star Airbnb that has no extra bed.
No bed, no toilet, nothing. It's just a blank room. All right.
It's just kind
Sounds
of
like
a
home.
blank
Sounds
room.
like home. Missing my city.
And then sort of like outside, you can see, like, again, it's dimly lit, but Elo probably doesn't have a super issue with that. There are a few of the aliens that were in the truck, sort of like gathered around a table in the back. You can see that doorway leads to something, but you don't really know what. But it's open. It's not like you're in an enclosed off. I mean, you're in an enclosed space, but you are not in a cell in a room that also has like some kind of door or something. You can't see any visible exits, but you can see that there is that corridor leads to something. And then of course there is like a table with a bunch of like printouts and stuff like that, and on the center of it, Beegax's deck.
All right, I got it.
My MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
Elo is going to, after scanning this room, how far away is this table?
25 feet, maybe?
I'm going to try it anyway. Elo is going to open up their tummy hatch and pull out their power cord, which, if you remember, is like a vacuum cleaner, and it like pulls out sort of like rope.
Oh my God.
Yeah, okay.
You're gonna Inspector Gadget this or no?
Not really. I'm gonna try. After looking over at Beegax and hoping that he'll put these ideas together, and Elo is going to say, "Worth a shot, right?"
Yeah, and he'll get up from his slump, and he'll motion for the gun. I'm like, you better let me try it out. At least this part of your plan.
All right.
Okay, he has the hold-up blaster.
Yeah,
now.
and they'll, secretively, as well as Elo can be secretive, pull out and hold out blaster.
What do you do with it, Beegax?
He'll kind of just hide it in his onesie that he's carrying.
Okay.
He'll like cover it in there. There's some little space between like the belly tunic and his actual belly, so he'll put it in there. And the way they walk, they have that natural kind of hump, a little bit like in front of them, where the leg limbs kind of are. So
Sure,
they'll
Doug.
be
Yeah.
sitting right there, so it's quick, easy to grab. But what I'm planning to do is when I assume they are trying to get the deck using the extension cord and drag it in to the cell. So when that happens, he'll be like on the side of the door of the cell, kind of looking out and seeing if anyone notices. And if they do notice, he's going to start going off and like trying to pick them off from inside the jail cell.
Okay.
Interesting. Oof.
Elo, what are you doing with this tube? Are you trying to like lasso it like Calamity Jane?
I mean, a little bit. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Let's have you do, let's say it is ranged light.
Okay.
And we'll call this a short distance because it's not super far away.
Also, Beegax is going to stop them. He's like,
Wait. Why don't we wait till there's less guys in here, or some of them are asleep? It might be easier. And I don't have to kill any of these Sol Herrera guys, because I don't know if you know who he is, but he's worse than rebels. At least the ones I've heard of.
At that, Elo will retract their power cord back into their tummy and will nod, and we will wait.
Okay. So you guys are kind of like waiting for an opportune moment here.
yeah, whenever we notice there are less guys in here, or some of them are sleeping or whatever the hell. Whatever is the maximum route for less guys being there.
Yeah. You wait for a time, the two of you, I don't know, just sitting in tense silence, perhaps? Is that what's going on?
Beegax would he'll occasionally yell. He'll be like he'll start shouting some of the Imperial, like, not limericks, but like the creed or whatever they taught him in the ISB.
Oh, shit.
You know, he'll just start kind of saying them out loud, like, all data should be controlled by the Empire. Like, he'll just say random shit every now and then.
Is he like trying to rile people up, or is he like...
I mean, just kind of piss them off a little
So
bit. He
they
knows that
leave.
They're not going to come in. Yeah, either they leave or they come inside, because I'm thinking, like, he's not going to tell Elo this, but if one comes inside, he's going to kill him straight up inside the cell. He'll kill the one who comes in to try to shut him up.
Well, let's do a deception check for Beegax.
Fancy.
I'm not a good liar. I did put 1 rank into it, though. What's the difficulty, sir?
2 purple, 2 red.
Ooh,
What the
shit. Take it. Take that point.
I'm gonna flip
Take
a
it.
dark side point
Take the
here,
light side
since
point.
you're in the lair of the beast, and flip it to a light side point, and so now you have 3 red, 1 purple.
I don't even have that many dice. I have to roll. Wow, they're not falling for this at all. 5 disadvantage. 2 success, and then I'm gonna roll 1 more red. And a despair. Oh, you should have seen the way it rolled too, because it rolled off the mouse pad onto the desk and it spun. and it
Damn
was
that
spinning
mouse pad.
on the despair. So I knew it was gonna come up despair, but it just kept spinning.
So that's a success, a despair, and 5 threat.
5 threat.
Boy.
I've never seen that many threats.
That's a lot of badness.
So I think what ends up happening is it's a success, so someone ends up coming over, right?
Oh yeah.
Oi, enough of that. Quiet down.
Are they coming inside or no? Not coming inside.
They're coming up to the gate.
Okay, well I'll walk up to the gate also, and I'm gonna say, my apologies. I just sometimes get all swept up and caught up with Imperial cries. I love it. It's great. And then as he's saying this, he's gonna walk closer to the gate to be like, because the guy's like right there.
Right.
I
Yep.
assume, right?
Yeah.
So Beegax is gonna like grab the gate with his hands, and his feet are also gonna be gripping it, so he's kind of like elevated.
Oh,
he's
cool.
short.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. He's gonna put his snout through the gate opening, and he's gonna say like, "Long live the Empire."
He is just gonna deck Beegax right in the schnoz.
That's what I
Boom.
wanted him to do.
Yeah.
So as he hits me, if I can do something, I'd like to use the bottom 2 feet that are below to grab him. If I can reach his like coat or whatever he's wearing, and pull him into the gate as I'm getting punched, so I have like more momentum.
Yeah.
But, I don't know how much damage I'm gonna take from getting punched in the face.
We'll work that out in a second. I want you to roll me. I think it's a brawl check.
That's what I was hoping, because Doug's are
Shit.
excellent brawlers. Yeah, my brawl is rank 1. 1 yellow, 2 greens.
So that'll be 2 purple, because it's always 2 for brawl and melee stuff.
Okay. Oh, nope. It doesn't work. So 2 failures, 3 advantage. So I failed.
Okay, so yeah, you fail to like grab him around the waist. You just go reeling back, and your legs like kick out, sort of like grasping at like bars and at cloth and stuff like that. And I think that despair is that holdout blaster goes clattering to the ground and out the cell.
Shit, I fucked up.
He picks it up, he looks at it, and he like hefts it in his hand, looks at you, and says, "I had friends on Malastare."
Why don't you come in here and avenge him?
And I'm like still on the ground. He's still like, he's propping himself up now.
"We'll have our fun tomorrow. Just you wait." And then he walks away.
Very patient. He's experienced. He's not gonna fall for his tricks.
If and when Beegax turns around in this cell, Elo is just face palm down to the ground, like, God damn it.
He's gonna look at Elo.
Just with
Just be like,
You know, it was worth a shot. I guess we just don't kill people when we steal the deck. Not a big deal.
You guys wait around a little bit more. Let me give you some damage. Well, let's say 2. Why don't you take 2 wounds?
Ouch.
I can't even fix you.
I know.
And you guys wait around for a little bit more, and it like you can see in this thing, like it never seems like there's less people. You can see them like changing out and moving around, and like some get up and go. You see some of them like playing with the holdout blaster and like spinning it around and like pointing back at the cell and like so like there's a changing of people going on, but there's never like any less that's going on.
Okay. That's terrible.
So if you want to try this thing, and we'll say a couple of hours go by as you're like waiting for an opportune moment.
I mean, it's our only option, really. We can either try this or just let fate happen and probably die.
Too many dark side points right now for fate to decide.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so you're gonna try and do this like sort of like suction move, sort of like grabbing onto the deck here. So roll me a ranged light. We'll go short, so 1 purple, and I'm gonna flip another dark side point, and we're gonna turn that purple into a red, and mostly because it's like there's bars in the way and there's people watching, so like there's a real risk of like getting caught with this.
Got it. Can I use a light side point?
Please. Yeah.
1 success, 2 advantages.
Oh,
All right.
Nice. Okay. You stick this tube onto this deck, and it suctions on.
Okay. Elo is going to very quickly look around the room to see and notice that nobody saw, and then is going to realize I have to pull this off of the table onto the floor and then drag it in. And it's about 25 feet away, you said. Mm-hmm. Well, at what speed, if Ella were to just retract her, would it come zooming over to me?
I don't know. You tell me. Like, yeah, you could do this faster. You could do this slow. You've got those 2 advantages. So I think if you want to use them on this somehow, if you can come up with a creative way to like spend those, then...
Can I spend them on something that is going to seem really trivial, but I'm hoping it works for my favor? If I were to say, I'd like to spend these 2 advantages, that maybe somebody dropped a platter across the room, and so it's like a semi-distraction for when I'm pulling this normal.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me how you get this thing, and we'll go from there.
Okay, Elo is going to really just like hoping that the universe works out because the odds are not in our favor, is going to just retract her cord and pull this deck with all their might towards them in hopes that no one notices, basically. And it is gonna come zooming at them, maybe fall on the ground, maybe bump into some stuff. We'll see what happens.
I think, okay, so
Jesus, take the wheel.
I think what happens is you pull the deck very quickly, and like it clangs into the door, like retracts in, and then just like the trajectory of it is not right, so it just like boom, like
Clunk.
Bangs, yeah, like clunks into the door, but at the very same time, like the aliens are like slapping down sabacc cards or something, and like and like dragging in whatever like winnings they have, and and then like simultaneously these noises happen to sort of like cover and mask what is going on here.
Awesome. Elo is going to, holding this deck through the bars, sort of slyly slide it through one of these weirdly shaped holes because they're not really bars, and is going to be holding it very tightly to themselves, and will just turn around towards Beegax and just sort of flash, like flash him that we got it.
Alright, good.
He's gonna look at the door. He'll go over to the gate again, and he's gonna stick his hand through. Does he feel a port anywhere? Is there a... a jack or anything, like a panel?
There is a panel.
Okay.
There is no port.
Ah, fuck. Alright, well then plan B. He doesn't feel a port, so Beegax just says,
Griff. Okay,
we'll go to Elo.
let me see the deck, please.
Elo is going to very hesitantly, like, bring the deck towards Beegax and then pull it back. If I give this to you, you have to promise not to lose it.
I won't.
And he kind of just looks at them like a kid. Like, I promise.
Elo will slowly pass it over to Beegax while looking outside the cell to make sure nobody can see them making this exchange.
Beegax puts his mitts on the deck, opens it up. Does it turn on? That's the first thing I check.
Yes, it does turn on, and you notice there's like it's indicating something on it. Beegax, knowing his equipment, likely knows like this is what the Viper drones are like. There's some frequency or some I feel like it's like an SMS card or something. Like it's
like,
how
just
they
a way for
know.
them to track it.
Yeah, this is how they know,
Yeah.
and it is indicating to you that this is going on.
Okay, so they're on their way. There are Imperials coming soon.
Well, this you don't know, but you know for sure this is how they're able to hone in on you. I think Beegax probably knows, like, with using like Imperial equipment, like this is a way to certainly draw Viper droids to this location, but also if you could get your hands on a Viper droid, you might be able to like screw around with what it's supposed to be locating. If you were able to somehow like do that, you might be able to like get them off the scent, as it were.
Capture one?
Or draw them all here.
Okay, well, that's going to be very difficult.
I mean, if these people are busy with a bunch of Viper droids, it would be a lot easier for us to escape.
Yeah, that's true. Beegax will see the alert and he'll kind of put some things together. He'll assume that probably somewhere on their way, if this is how they've been tracking it, and he'll find a way, or at least try and go into his equipment to disable the signal, because they already know where it is. They're like, okay, it's this way, it's this way, it's this way, and then eventually, if he cuts it off, they're still gonna know, oh, it's still here, I know where to go. So the droids will still be on the way, but he wants to stop it so that in the future, after this escape, they don't follow us after this. So
you want your cake and eat it too.
yeah, he's gonna try and the deck will be open. He'll look at that little message or the sequence of code that's happening. He'll be like, okay, well, I have to get rid of this. He'll wait a few seconds. He'll be like,
let them get a good signal.
And then type. He'll try and like run a countermeasure. Like, all right, how do I stop this thing from pinging?
Can I just say I'm like keeping guard? Just in case.
We're going to call this a hard check. Tell me if I've got this right. It sounds like Beegax is first trying to like boost this signal hard and then shut it down.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to need you to make me a hard computer check.
Hard is
3 purple.
5 success, 3 disadvantage.
Oh, 3 threat. Okay. That's good. I think you boost this signal. You are typing in and you're able to like send it out like, this is where I am. The 3 threat, however, is like, this is exactly where I am.
Yeah. Yeah. 3rd floor, karaoke bar, drinking a martini. That's where he's at.
Yeah, exactly so. This is definitely going to lead any Imperial signal right to you.
I was worried about that. Like, so the idea, and tell me if I was stupid for doing it, but like, the idea is kind of like, it's like Home Alone, right? It's like, hey, I'm here, come and get me, and then boom, run.
Yeah. I figured as much. Yeah.
We were not out of the cage.
That's fine. That's fine.
There's nowhere to run to at the moment.
The droids are the first thing to show up, right? Because they're the ones that are picking up the signals, not the people. So the droids show up first. We can probably, I'm hoping I can like tap into one and just like hijack it Cyberpunk 2077 style, and just like, "Ugh, please help us kill these guys," and it turns on its own Viper droid and blows it up, and then it kills other guys. That'd be sick. But anyways,
And now you want to like shut it off, right? You want to like turn it
yeah.
off. That's going to be an opposed check. I think that's just an average check. I am going to flip a dark side point, however, to a light side
one
point.
becomes a red.
And one becomes a red. Here we go.
Oh, just good face.
I'll show you. What's that one right there?
Yeah, baby.
That is a crit. And what do we do on this flippin' show?
Respect the crit.
We respect the crit. That's right.
Girl.
Always. Triumph and a disadvantage.
You turn this on, it's like, here I am, come and get me, and then you shut it down. And what is this triumph? Like how is this?
I know it. I have an idea.
Okay.
already.
All right, go for it. Yeah.
Let me propose it. While he's doing it, Beegax realizes
I can message anybody.
and he sends a message to Placebo, to Verse, and to what's her name? R4? P4?
P4.
P4.
P4 and to P4. He sent everybody. We are like we're
S
here.
O
Come and get us.
S.
Boom. Yeah, to everybody. And he does it so that when the Viper droids or when the Imperial Viper droids receive the signal, it looks as if I'm sending a signal to everyone else, and they just happen to stumble upon it. I disguise it.
So yeah, you send out an APB like it's not just Viper droids, it's not just the Imperials, it's everyone you know. Like this is where we're at. Come and find us. Oh,
I call the Mantis guy from no. That's me. I feel like this is about to be a historic moment in where are we again? In fucking Socorro history. They're gonna be like, oh, like Tombstone, Arizona. Like, oh, the shootout and fucking Saul Guerrera's Union's hideout.
obviously this doesn't happen instantaneously. You have the deck, and you're still in this cell. People are going on about their business, and eventually the Upawian comes back, and he's got associates with him. He's got that Twi'lek. He's got that the two tubes guy. I can't remember what their species name is. He comes up to the cell, and at first he's like, "You've been busy, I see. No matter. It's time you started using that thing."
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say, boss.
And he says it very sarcastically.
They open the cell door. Blasters come out, pointed at the two of you. They push Elo back against the wall, and they drag Beegax out roughly with the deck. They sit him down at the table and close the cell door. And then this Upawian gets up in Beegax's face, and he's like, "All right, what did you take from the Empire? We want to know."
Like I said, it's just a bunch of different projects they're working on. It's not the full thing, just pieces of it.
And then he's gonna start typing like access to files, just to open them on his deck. Not necessarily to transfer them anywhere, obviously, but just showing him off. Like, okay, and he'll go through. He'll get to a few screens, and there'll be one where like it's waiting for an input, and he looks to the Upawian.
It's against Imperial policy for you to see my password.
And he looks at him like expecting him to turn around.
Do you need all of your hands to type this?
Yes, I need my hands.
And he'll go back to typing. His other hands are free, but like they're moving on a separate part of the deck that has like the countermeasures just in case something comes up.
It's bringing up a bunch of files. A lot of it is like communication between different agencies almost, like ISB with the Compnor, or ISB with the Imperial Navy, like that kind of stuff. You notice right off the bat that a lot of these are encrypted in a way. Well, in a way that's very similar to the way that Borsk's files were encrypted, where if it there's data, not all the data is here, but it could be extracted if you had access to like an Imperial data archive or something like that, like if you were plugged into the network, you might be able to like open these up. The other thing that comes up is this I don't think would be readily like seen through by these people that are looking over your shoulder, but it's indicated very clearly that there is a second slicer involved in these materials. It's something that Beegax picks up on right away, but this is like deep code language. And the third thing are the two most prominent files that come up: Project Blue Harvest and Project Dollhouse.
Dollhouse, it could be like
I don't know, man. I love that show. I'm like,
could be a cloning facility. It could be somewhere where they keep dead bodies that they're gonna use to extract like literally whatever you think the worst, most perverted version of the word, or like the darkest way the word is used. That's probably what they're using it for.
Aw, Dollhouse makes me think of kids. That's sad.
Yeah, probably it could be. It could probably be like that's the thing about those fucking code words.
What was
that
it?
the Empire's crazy.
It was Project Dollhouse and Project what?
Project
Blue
Blue
Harvest.
Harvest.
Blue Harvest.
So yeah, he'll see this information and he'll be like,
Well, looks like I wasn't actually good at cracking everything, but I did collect 2 names if you'd like to see. There's some Imperial projects here.
and he'll boop, pull it up on the second screen. Boop, throw it up right there.
That's a start. What's in these? What are they?
As far as I can tell, it's only fragmented data. I'm gonna need a connection to the Imperial network, so
A connection to the Imperial network?
a hard connection, maybe to like a military outpost, one of their kiosks, or some sort of unmanned computer, if you will.
You know what I think? I think you're just lacking the proper motivation.
No, I'm telling you common sense here, buddy. I can't do anything unless I'm hardwired in. You can ask any tech person you got on your team.
And then he'll look around and he'll realize probably none of these guys know what they're talking about.
It doesn't look like it.
And he'll say,
Look, I'm not trying to cheat you here. I'm doing this so I can get the hell away from you for a long, long time. Probably forever, hopefully. If you want more, I need a hardwire to the Imperial network. That's a fact.
He like looks over at one of his associates and gestures. They pull out a blaster and aim it at Elo in the cell.
See, I don't trust a word that you say. And I think you can bring the data that we need right now.
he's gonna shake his head.
You shoot my droid. You're gonna have a bigger problem than not having data.
And he's gonna reach for whatever weapon is nearby, like as fast as possible.
Yeah, let's say... Oh man, it's gotta be something like improvised, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's probably not a weapon, it's probably like, I don't know, some kind of like bludgeon. What would it be? I don't know, a chair comes to mind, but that's probably too unwieldy. I feel like it's something on the desk.
Probably like a hydro spanner or a wrench or something.
That's
like that.
very good, yeah, that's very
Yeah.
good. Okay, yeah. There's a hydro spanner there.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna flip a light side point and I'm gonna try and bash this guy in the face.
Okay, excellent, I love it.
Yes. Get him.
So it would be a brawl check, 2 purple. You're upgrading it, so 1 yellow.
A wash. Nothing. Literally nothing.
Literally nothing. Oh man.
I think you're gonna get shot, Elo.
You grab this spanner and you swing to hit this guy, and he just grabs it.
I hope, for your sake, you're a better slicer than you are a fighter.
And he like looks over and gives a nod, and this blaster is just gonna fire at Elo.
Oh my god.
What was that you were saying?
About your droid.
Beegax is visibly like just flustered. And I can't believe I'm gonna do this. He's going if the guy still has the hydro spanner in his hand, Beegax is just gonna let go of the hydro spanner and using his 2 upper fists, he's gonna turn around and start bashing the deck. He's gonna start breaking the deck.
Oh my god!
And he's using all of his Doug force just like screaming whatever primal scream a Doug could make as he's like coming down, axe handling with his fists on the deck. So it's like all the buttons are flying out and the keys are flying. The screen's cracking.
God. That is the shit I am here for. And the screen cracks and goes off, and we get that like thing that happens with electronics where it's like the RGB goes crazy and like magenta and green goes everywhere, and this guy like takes the hydro spanner and he's like, "What are you doing?" He like goes to try and restrain you, and he like gestures over for this associate to help him. This associate comes over, leaving the like LO damaged and smoldering in the cell. Just at that moment, the whole ground starts to shake, dust starts to fall. The Supawian like grab Beegax and he's like, "What's going on? We need eyes. What's happening?"
Oh yeah, I was real busy, my friend.
And he's just gonna like smile at him as he has. I would say his eyes are watering up because he cares. This thing represents a lot to him. It's like comfort, but also this is his weapon. This makes him who he is. So he's basically saying like, I'm gonna do this because I'm worthless right now. This like, I have no more value as I'm destroying this, but he did it to save his friend.
Suddenly, there is blaster fire at somewhere in the recesses of this underground facility that you are in. You see and hear the commotion of the other beings that were in this place, like stand up, get up, footsteps, and the rustle of clothes, the cocking of blaster rifles, and suddenly you are in a firefight. Let's all roll initiative.
I wonder who got here first.
Oh my god, this is crazy!
What a crazy session.
I might have to switch classes after this.
Okay, so we've got an NPC slot, an NPC slot, an NPC slot, an NPC slot, and then PC and PC slot.
How many factions are in this fight?
I know, damn. Okay, well, let's think about it. We called a lot of people.
Yeah.
I didn't think Placebo or P4 would come.
Here's how it go. We see blaster fire, boom, 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 boom. We see stormtroopers coming in. They are firing at basically surprising all of these people here in this underground facility. One of these stormtroopers is shot as like a group of them comes out. Their return in volley as like the table flips, and these partisans are now like in a firefight going on just very close, almost in the next room to you. We see this Utapauan look at Beegax. "What did you do?" And he is going to try and grab at the deck. Failure. He is not able to get it. He like dives for it, but falls short of being able to reach. Something else happens that you do not see, and now it is a PC turn.
That I don't see?
Yes.
I'm going to hit the Utapauan with the deck.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Across the face!
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm gonna wield it.
very cool, very cool. Roll me a brawl check.
I better hit this guy. I'm gonna hit this guy in the fucking face.
Do it.
3 successes.
The damage is your brawn plus 1.
My brawn is 3, so 4 damage.
4 damage plus the additional, all the successes you got. You got 3 successes, so 3 extra damage.
That's better than some blaster shots I've taken.
Maybe you should just be our punchy guy.
You hit him with this deck, and he goes sprawling. Keys, have you ever seen...
Wanted?
Oh, Wanted.
Wanted, yeah. There's that scene at the beginning where he like hits someone with a keyboard and like teeth and the keys come flying out. That's what it looks like. That's what
and
it
the
looks
keys
like.
spell out F you.
Criff off. It is another PC slot. Elo, would you like a chance to go?
I don't think that there is much that I can do. Like, I'm in a cage. I don't have any weapons. I don't have my health pack, so I can't even heal myself.
So we have the cell that you are in, and maybe 25 feet away are Beegax and this Upawan, he is just smashed over the face with the deck. Standing right in front of the door of the cell that you are in is we'll say the two tubes, who is pointing a blaster at you, like very much through or very close to the door that had shot on you, and is standing there. They are now looking down a corridor to something that leads what you think may be to the exit. What previously you've been watching a bunch of these partisans, like, playing cards and guarding you. They are now engaged in some kind of firefight.
Because I was holding in my new wound over here, and I don't have a weapon, I want to take my power cord and try to choke this guy out. I want to, throw it around him and pull him up against the bars and choke him out.
So cool and so violent. Go ahead and give me a brawn check. Or brawl? It's brawl, right?
Yeah. Okay. One success! Oh my God.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, so you managed to just choke, you take your tube out, wind it up, and thread it through the bars of this door, and pull it tight on this person.
Beegax, get me out of this thing.
The firefight continues. Some of the partisans are blasted, some of the stormtroopers are blasted, and then this Upawan is gonna rub his jaw and take a fire at Beegax.
I'm gonna get shot. No.
Just 2 successes, so that's gonna be 10 damage.
Soak of 3, so 7. That puts me at 0. I'm out. I'm knocked out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wound of 0. I got a critical wound then.
Yeah, you take a critical wound. So do you have percentage dice you can roll for me?
Oh, 70.
You have scattered senses is the critical wound. I think that may have been the same thing Elo got. You get shot and for a minute, you are blinded by the pain that goes surging through your body. Yeah, what does Beegax do?
Well, he'll get shot, right? Obviously doesn't have a choice in that matter. So he gets shot, flies back, and he'll try to lift his head up, but his body's just not, it's refusing to move. So he's he wants to get up, but the blaster fire and slaps that he's been taking and all the beatings that have been happening in this place, it's keeping him, his body's just done. It's I need to rest. And his head, he keeps trying to lift up his neck and he can't do it.
Elo, you see Beegax get shot. He sort of slumps in front of this broken bits of machinery that was once his full deck.
Is this guy dead yet?
No, but his blaster is sort of jiggling freely as he struggles trying to get this garrote that you have created from your own body around his neck off of him.
Okay. Would I be able to do the maneuver of grabbing this guy's pistol, or would that take up my and then do something else, or would that take up my whole turn?
You could grab the pistol as a maneuver for sure. Yeah.
Then I think Elo's gonna grab this pistol, and I don't want this to sound so cold, but this is what I picture. I want to grab this pistol, and then while he's there, just poof, right in his head, because he's still up against the bars, and so I'm taking this guy's gun and from behind his head, shooting him.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Cold-blooded. All right, roll me that ranged light as you grab his blaster pistol. 1 purple.
1 success, 2 advantages.
This fella goes down, sparks emit from the other side of his head. His breathing apparatus pops off and gas explodes, squirting from these tubes as you fell this partisan.
But now I have a blaster.
Yes, you do. And that's very, very important. The firefight is still happening in this other room. Blaster is going off. You hear a lot of shouting, a lot of confusion, a lot of chaos. Seeing that Beegax has fallen, slumped over this table, this Upawan is going to reach across and grab at the deck, pulling it close to him. As all of this happens, you hear twing, 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 and then a charge explodes out the side of this building. You can suddenly see like the red streaming daylight of the Sokoran atmosphere coming down in with dust, and it does that thing where it just like boom, like this dust cloud just like explodes out. There's just a ringing in everyone's ear, and suddenly sliding out of the smoke appears two figures. You see Verse and Creed sort of like scrambling towards Beegax, slumped over the table, and Elo trapped in a cell. This Upawan is trying to make a break for it, and he gets towards the door. However, he is blocked by a large Gran with an enormous axe, and Creed just pushes him back, and we are to a PC slot.
I think Beegax, without knowing where Elo is, he'd just be like, Elo, get the deck! Ah!
Elo, what do you do?
I'll blast open this door.
Sparks explode the door, like does a jerking motion coming halfway up to its full release, but you can duck below it if that is what you need to do. We'll call that a maneuver.
Because of the steam or whatever that was coming off that guy, you just see Elo leave this cell and like there's steam, and they're just going to put their weapon up to this Upawan. You're outnumbered. And then we'll fire.
Give me that roll.
Okay, he was a dick first. Just 2 advantages.
Okay, that's not terrible. So the shot, he's able to duck out of the way. What do you want to do with those advantages? He's still holding this deck.
Can he drop it while he's ducking my fire?
Yes. Yeah, let's say he does. Let's say he can. Yeah. Trying to like get out of the way of your blaster fire, he ends up dropping the deck. It slams to the ground. More bits of glass and plastic going everywhere.
Sorry. Sorry, Alex.
Beegax not looking so good. There's still fire going off here. These partisans in the Empire, like firing at each other, shooting down the hall as Viper droids begin to like move through, and their red eyes sort of creating a sort of visible laser as they start to move towards the back of the cell. Creed is going to take a swing on this Upawan. Oh, lots of success. That's great. He is going to take his axe, swing it under the legs of the Upawan. He slams onto the ground, and Verse, she runs over to Beegax.
They just say like,
It's good to see you. Get the deck. Get my deck.
She's like looking around. She sees Elo. She sees Creed, and she's like, go.
How close was I to the deck?
I think it's dropped right at your feet.
Elo, following Verse's direction with the deck, is going to jump up and run in whatever direction Verse is telling them to go.
You all run out the whole of this building. You can see now there are more stormtroopers like coming in, setting up an ambush at the entrance, sort of like a kill hallway at the side here. Some of them like shielding themselves from the blast, and they turn around and start to open fire as you are running away from this building that you find yourself somewhere. You try to make your way out of this wreckage, tumbling over the debris and destruction. You fall down into all of this. Verse is like having trouble dragging Beegax up along, and a large hand reached down, pulling you up to help you to your feet. Is this grand Three Eyes looking at you.
Come on, Doc. We gotta go.
Aw, it's my buddy. Elo will hold their hand out and go.
The four of you run out through the streets, this chaos going down, blaster fire exploding around you, and you find yourself finally in an alley, able to breathe. Verse, She puts Beegax down, slumps him down against the side of a building. She says, "Are you okay?"
And he like barely conscious.
Yeah, I just, last time I was in an alley, I almost died, and, well, deja vu, I guess.
And he looks around.
Can I medicine check Beegax? I don't have any supplies though, so.
You absolutely can. Go ahead and give me a triage check. That's going to be a hard check. That's going to be 3.
3 purples? Okay. 1 triumph, but 2 failures. So I think it still fails. It still fails though.
Yeah, okay, so let's say my instinct is Beegax is up and conscious and can still do stuff. He doesn't have any... He has 0 wound threshold, but you'd be able to like still fire a blaster or something. Like this is basically like stim inside of you, like adrenaline or something like that.
Okay.
Does that sound good, or would you like to use that triumph on something else?
That sounds perfect, but can I use it in the sense of how I get this effect? Sort of, I want Elo to crouch down on their knees and as they're assessing Beegax, seeing how badly hurt he really is. And without any supplies, there's nothing I can do to relieve his physical pain. And so Elo is going to reach back and pull out the deck and just sort of present it to Beegax, hoping that this will instill some sort of, like, at least we got your deck. And Elo is just going to say, "I was able to get your computer," and they'll pass it over to Beegax, like, nice and slow.
He's gonna like reach out for it very weakly, like,
Yeah, looks like you got pretty banged up.
and he like starts like messing with some of the keys, but there's like some missing, like the screen's cracked. He's like,
This is gonna cost a criffing fortune.
he looks diverse.
We need to get out of here.
Copy that. And she's gonna look down the alley, and coming, limping, bleeding, the Supawian, pointing, staring daggers at Beegax.
You'll answer for what you did on Malastare.
And then like he'll, as fast as he can, like maybe reach for somebody's blaster and try and shoot him.
Oh yeah, Verse has one there.
Yeah, he'll reach for it. He has to kill this guy himself. He's not gonna let Verse handle this for him. He's gonna reach for it, and he pulls it, aims it square at the guy as far as accurately as he can. He just says, "Eat your die."
Blaster fire rips through this alley, hits squarely into this Udapawian. He looks down, there's smoke, and he falls back into the dust of Socorro. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crit, Empire's Edge. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by giving us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. It's a simple thing that will really help us grow the show, and we love to read your feedback. For more information about the show, visit @RespectTheCrit on Twitter and Instagram. Beegax is played by Alex Herrera, who you can find on Twitter @AEHerrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. Elo is played by Jamie Lee-Bonés, who you can find on Instagram @jamielee.bones. I'm Ian Duncan, your GM and MC, and you can find me @idunks on Twitter and Instagram. The original music featured in the show is provided with permissions by a variety of artists and are linked in the show notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to check out more of their work and tell them how much you like the show. The Star Wars role-playing system and books are published by Fantasy Flight Games. And remember, whatever the system, whether it's a miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and may the Force be with you.
You're outnumbered. And... do I want to fire?
Say it one more time. We had a huge stormy meow in the background.
No! You traitor!